All right, hey guys, what's up? This is your boy Francis. This is In the Box Collection. I want to thank you guys for all of our supporters in the Box Collection on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. In the Box Collection, when we talk sports talks and we talk cards. Today we're going to be talking sports. Today we're going to be tackling the James Harden new trade or new team or new home with the Brooklyn Nets. Now that they're 2-0, today is Wednesday the 20th. Supposedly, what's his name? Kyrie Irving is done with his pause, so today he should be making the team or be playing with the team after he needed a pause, whatever else is. Bro, I don't know what's going on with Kyrie Irving. And I hate it when people ask me, hey man, what do you think about Kyrie Irving? Because honestly, I don't think that, I don't know. We'll talk about it. Okay, so a couple of things that I want to talk about. James Harden, the Nets, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving is, well, first of all, congratulations to James Harden to getting what he wanted after he acted like a child, gained like 30 pounds or put in a fat suit while he was in Houston Rockets. Then like 24 hours later, he must have gone into the jacuzzi for one of those, like, when they extract all the water out of your body and you like lose like 20 pounds. Because by the time he got to the Nets, this dude was unbelievable. Not just physically, not just mentally, but he was unbelievable physically, mentally. And the way that he played the game, it was like, who is this guy? And who was that imposter that was playing for the Rockets the last couple of weeks? So yes, James Harden got what he wanted. He acted like a child. He threw a fit. Then they gave him the iPad or they made him the trade. And it was the best thing for it. Whether the Nets won the trade or not, if you ask me, it's a championship or bust. Even if they get to the Eastern Conference Finals, there will be kind of a bit of a disappointment because they gave up so much, not just in the short term in terms of like a bench or like role players. They gave up so much in terms of the future. Like the Nets are pretty much fucked for the next couple of years. Again, just saying again. Okay, so James Harden, triple-double first game, second game, scored 34 points against the Bucks. The whole time, by the way, Kevin Durant has been balling out, a walking bucket as usual, as he should be. But the Nets have this whole new dynamic and this whole new concept into it. And the first two games, Kyrie Irving was not there. Kyrie Irving is supposed to make his start today on January 20th versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. Do I expect the Cleveland Cavaliers, to put much of a fight? Not really. They're also being overpowered by Kyrie Irving, KD, James Harden, DeAndre Jordan. I mean, the Nets are like almost like an all-star team. But what I want to talk about is, like, I just have a lot of questions about this. My questions mainly involve, the trio of KD, Harden, and Kyrie Irving, like, working together. First things first, when it comes down to it, did Kyrie Irving did this whole thing on purpose? He lowered his draft stock, or he lowered his trade value, so that way nobody would want him. Not like many people were really asking for him in the first place. So the Rockets would just give the Nets James Harden for really not very much. Caris LeVert, yes, who's young talent and a whole bunch of draft picks, but they just made a super team like 12, 14 games into the season after the Rockets decided that we didn't want to do it. Like, does it make sense? Not really. But what if it was a plan by Kyrie Irving, who's he processes things differently than a lot of people into it. What is this? Was this his plan from the beginning, to bring in a third star so that way they can go out and try to be LeBron James? Because they know they cannot do it with two. Now, if this was not the plan, are the Nets really thinking of Harden as their backup plan, in the sense that, if Kyrie Irving decides to go on more pauses, if he chooses birthday parties, if he chooses school meetings, things that he doesn't need to be there over the game of basketball, which is actually making him his money, if he chooses that, then what can you really do about it? And then you bring James Harden in to not just put pressure on Kyrie Irving, but to also, I don't know, if Kyrie Irving like deuces out for the rest of the season, you have a backup plan, a serviceable guard, you have a star still in the NBA. And with KD and James Harden, dude, they've been gelling. If you guys been watching them play, they beat the Bucks, who's supposed to be one of the team that's taking over the East, who are really struggling after they paid Giannis. But you made your money. Happy for Giannis. Now, how would the other two feel about taking the back seat to the other? It looks like when there's two stars on the floor, it's really easy to balance things out, like with KD and Harden. They have played with each other before. There's enough shots to go around. Nobody else is really taking shots. Both of those guys are taking more shots than the whole bench. Nobody else is asking for shots. Also, James Harden is also creating shots for DeAndre Jordan with the lobs and things like that. DeAndre Jordan is not really capable of creating offense by himself. So James Harden understands that. He has played with many centers in the past. Clint Capella made him a star, get him a paycheck. And now it's DeAndre Jordan's turn to benefit from having a guard like James Harden. Now, so how do they feel about taking a backseat to one or the other? Or is it like a game-by-game thing? Who gets the final shot? I don't really care what you guys say or anything like that. I would personally give the final shot to Kevin Durant. He has been the most reliable player and the most proven one to make it work. Kyrie Irving, we still have to find out whether he's going to be there or not. Also, he can be a little bit selfish. So how would the other two feel? James Harden has a bit of a one-track mind kind of concept, and he score. But when it comes to, like, I don't know, the playoffs, whenever his team should be winning, it's not score. It's more like choke, but take your pick. So, how much of a say does Steve Nash actually has when it comes to picking the guy who's going to take the last shot? And personally, yeah, like I said before, the expectations for the Nets are either championship or bust, which leads me to my last point. Personally, I don't think the Nets are a championship team. I don't think you can go into the playoffs with three players that have been, or two or three players have been playing 40 minutes per game every game on a shortened season. Yes, it's shorter, but at the same time, you know, Kevin Durant just came off an injury. James Harden just came off choking the season. Yeah, so like there's a lot of factors into it that don't give me much faith that the Nets are going to get past the first or the second round. If they make it to the Eastern Conference, it's still championship or bust kind of season. The same thing that happened to the Clippers. Did not meet expectations, and look at them. By the way, playoff P is doing great, but this is not playoff P. This is regular season P, who's known to do great things. Playoff P is the guy we got to worry about. Boom. On to the next topic. Lastly, when it comes down to it, the season is over. The Nets were eliminated for the playoffs. Everybody's going home early. Who is Kevin Durant going to choose between James Harden and Kyrie Irving? Because if they don't win a championship, it's more like over, like a bubble of approval, like a bubble of expectations that they cannot work together. Now, if they can figure it out and make it work, yeah, props to them. Congratulations. Brooklyn in the house. Woo, woo. JC might even buy stock back to the Nets. But who will KD choose between James Harden, a guy that he played with before, more of a creator, or Kyrie Irving, who... Yeah, so Kyrie Irving... Yeah, so either James Harden, more of a creator, more of a guy that's going to be more of a team player, even if he doesn't play his own way, and Kevin Durant is going to be a walking bucket. By the way, Kyrie Irving, he's great, unlimited package to the bag, and he'll make a bucket, but I don't know where he is. Like, what is the new thing for the crazy sign? He's a little out there. I don't know if he's just whatever. Cool. But hey guys, this is your boy Francis. This is In the Box Collection. This is the part 2 of the video that was supposed to be shorter, and I still just went into it. Really, I just want to talk about what you guys think about the Nets. I hate reacting to something so quickly, because at the same time, I want to make sure that I gather my thoughts. So far, the Nets are dominating the East. Have they had a real matchup aside from the Bucks? Not really. Have they had their 3 stars playing at the same time? Not really. And everything is great on a small sample before people start getting mad about, I don't know, bench players knowing that we'll just have to take a back seat. Not enough bench players. Steve Nash being able to be a coach, or is he just another Tyronn Lue? There's a lot of things going on in my mind about the Brooklyn Nets. But in the meantime, we'll catch you guys in the next episode. This is your boy Francis. This is In the Box Collection. I want to thank you guys for watching. And yeah, please leave a like. Drop a comment, subscribe to the channel. Let's have some fun.